Welcome to Truth and Company Podcast. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria, and today we got a great show for you. Not one guest, but we got two guests. And just let me break it down real quick and explain to you who they are, and then I'll bring them on. They met in college at UWS, and they were in a jazz band together. They started playing music together in 2018. Nick plays guitar and does vocals, and Ren plays violin and does vocals. Um, they both write some of their own songs. Their music styles rock, folk, pop, soul. And since then, they've actually put out two albums with a band called One Less Guest. And they spent 3 years out in Los Angeles for a while performing. But then they moved back to the Twin Ports area. And in 2025, they put out their debut album as the musical duo Between Howls, which is titled Cabin Fever. You guys can go check that out. My understanding is they're in the process of putting out another album, hopefully that should be out in 2027. They did a tour all over the United States to promote the Cabin Fever album and traveled in their trusty camper van called the Blue Magoo. I'm interested to hear about that. I've heard about it on other podcasts, which I understand has a long generational history in Nick's family. So we'll have to find out more about that from Nick. They also have done a soundtrack for a short film called the movie The Pool Boy. So if you guys are interested in that, check that out, find that online. So let's bring them on. Nick and Ren Howl of the musical duo Between Howls. How you guys doing?
Hey.
Hey, John. Hey, we can't hear you.
So when we were off air, you could hear me, and now you can't hear me.
We just had it.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear us. We could hear you during the sound check, but now we can't hear you anymore.
Yeah.
That's not good. Can you try to adjust something?
I'm not sure what happened.
Can you guys hear me now? No? Anybody that's tuning in right now, I apologize. During the sound check, everything was fine, and then as soon as we went live, apparently they could not hear me. So we're working on this technical difficulty right now, and hopefully we'll get this fixed soon.
You want to try it from your phone?
We could.
It was working just a second ago.
You guys want to try to drop off and come back in? You can't hear me at all? Let's see.
Maybe we should try leaving and coming back, or
Yes. Do that.
Yeah.
You can hear us? Okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Will do.
Once again, for the viewers that are listening, I apologize. We're having some technical difficulty here. I don't know what happened during sound check. It was fine. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we can hear
Okay.
you.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, sometimes that happens with tech, anytime you're messing with the internet. All right. So, anyways,
Yeah.
I can, I'll splice that out. It doesn't matter. Um, but
Okay.
anyways,
Okay.
so let's get to, so why music? First, I'll ask Ren, why music?
Man, it's it's such an all-encompassing art form, um, and it's just really freeing. I love it a lot. I've been doing it since I was a kid, and I don't think I can stop doing it. So it's just my favorite thing.
Okay. So it's just a passion that you,
Yeah, it's
okay, Nick, go
it
ahead.
really connects you with a lot. It just connects you with a lot of people. I think we can all find something in music that gives us something really beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree with that. I. It's kind of like I would do it for free. So I think that was a piece of career advice I got is just like do something you would do for free. So
And Nick, why did you
um,
choose
Yeah.
yeah.
music though?
And why did I choose it? Oh, like, do you mean as a career or just like to do
No, I
it?
mean just in general. Like some people, when they're growing up, they choose to play sports. Other people, they go
Mm.
off to the service. Why did you choose music?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel like I chose it. I just always did it. I don't know. I mean, I did sports too in high school. I had a lot of interests in things. I like taking things apart and putting things back together, stuff like that. But yeah, I've just always played music since I was a little kid. I'm from a musical family. Everybody starts on piano when you're like some people it's 7, some people it's 8. And then you get to pick an instrument when you're 10. So you kind of pick your instrument. And yeah, I just kind of picked a guitar up and I never put it down. So
Okay. And
yeah,
for some people that might be fans of yours or just becoming fans of yours, they might not be aware, but you guys aren't only a musical duo. You guys are actually married.
yeah,
So
yes,
when did that happen?
yeah. That was in 2023,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yep,
September.
Okay.
yeah.
So have you guys so give me a list of some performers that you guys have played with.
Played with, yeah.
Or opened up for
I
or
mean, I did a few. Yeah, yeah. I did a few shows with Cassius Culpepper out of Nashville this last year. I was just doing some side work for them. That was pretty fun. In that group, we opened for Leon Bridges, and we were on the National Good Morning America show. So that was some work that I did with our group. We've worked with some more local groups out of the Midwest, but yeah, we've done some work with like Salty Dog up there. They're one of the bigger groups in Duluth, and I know I'm missing people. We've been playing with some
No, yeah,
people
no.
for a while.
I mean, yeah, we're opening for the last Rebel in June, so we're pretty
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yep.
It's like we have had a privilege to work with, I think, a really nice spectrum of like all kinds of different musicians, and like working with people out on the West Coast was really cool when you're living out there. And um, yeah, I mean, it's a people business, so it's all about collaboration. And I can't even really, if we had to actually list all the bands we've played with, I mean, in our 8 years of playing together, it's hundreds of bands at this point, and
Yeah.
and they've all been great. Really, we've been pretty fortunate to work with a lot of really really nice people that are very talented all over the country.
so now I mentioned the Blue Magoo van and I know you guys got some tour stories that have to do with the van. Can you tell me Give me a story that has to do with the van on touring last year.
On touring last year. Well, do you want? Maybe I'll give you a do you want a breakdown story or like a ridiculous like a fish out of water type story or
Yeah.
what's
No,
that?
anything that you would think that the listeners would find interesting, an unusual story. Because I mean, it's already unusual that everybody's hearing about this van that's historically known, generational through your family. I've heard it in other interviews that it's gone down through generations. That you're still traveling with this van, so
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. So I just want to hear a story of either you guys down in Nashville or touring around the United States with the van, or
Yeah, we so last year when I just felt like the whole Ren doing stagecoach thing was like that entire experience with the van and was really just like I have a lot of vivid memories of that. So we did a show in Costa Mesa, California, and then we drove through the night. We stayed at a travel stop. We slept in the van. We pulled in to the artist parking for Stagecoach with this 1999 blue Chevy Express with a broken window. And, you're pulling up next to Sprinter vans and artists RVs and stuff. And I still have the sticker from when we got to park there. And then after the day was done, we pulled up to the all the artists got to stay at this like way fancy schmancy hotel, like way fancy schmancy, like uh golf course in the back. I mean, it's in Coachella, so it's like, you know, there's definitely some money out there. And we pulled up and the guy was like trying to valet park our van. We're in line in front of all these other really nice cars and everything, and then we pull up in this van that really kind of had no earthly purpose in being there. It just looked so out of place. And I just remember laughing as the guy was trying to take my keys, and I'm like, can I just self park this thing? Like, I don't, because anytime they would valet park that van, they would park it way the heck 3 parking lots over, because you know how they always park the sports cars up front, and then it's like we would always have to walk really far. So I just got to being like, I'm just gonna self park this. So we self parked it, and yeah, and I mean, just and there's all I got a ton of breakdown stories too. I've just got, it's with that van, it's just a lot of little things. It's just, we went on our first 3 tours in that van and just being cramped, and it wasn't perfect, but it's yeah, it was a great van. And actually we did have to retire it very recently, John. So we haven't really been, I think it's just because we don't want to, it's kind of a bummer. It was almost like losing a pet, like honestly.
Yeah.
We really love that van. And we don't have any pets, so like our kids, so like our vans are kind of like that's what we take care of and love. So
is that the Blue Magoo?
yeah.
The Blue Magoo van is officially retired.
Yeah.
Retired, yep. I thought about parking it at my mom's house, like using it as an ice fishing shack or something, because it still kind of limps along, but I was like, I don't know, it was kind of just time to put it down, because it had a whole litany of problems. But 270,000 miles out of that van, and that's a pretty good run, I mean, and I didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of money, especially at the beginning, to be able to take care of it. So it was just hope and a prayer and duct tape for a couple of years, So
So, is there any places, either one of you guys can answer this or both of you guys can answer this? When you think of all the different places that you performed, which one comes to mind as like one of your top favorite places that you've performed?
that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got a couple if you want. You got
Yeah, you go for it. Well, it might be the same thing, but
yeah, we were just talking about this at breakfast yesterday. Is like there's this kind of town that we really like, and we can't really put a exact descriptor on it, but it's like it's like a little town that's kind of like artsy. It's got like 10,000, maybe 10,000 people. Weirdly, a lot of them are county seats. We figured out. We think that's just correlation, but like we just played in Decorah last night. We love playing here. Or Mason City. Livingston is not a county seat, Livingston, Montana, but Livingston is a great little town. That was probably my favorite stop on the tour last year. And that was when I was a little worried about, because it was just kind of like in the middle of nowhere in Montana, and you really don't know what you're going to get sometimes in small towns. And I grew up in a little town in Wisconsin, so fortunately one of the ones I grew up in was kind of like that, where we had an art center and all that kind of stuff, so I had good opportunities still and everything. But yeah, I like playing in Livingston. It was really nice, pleasant surprise. Just little town in the middle of Montana. And of course, playing in the big cities is fun too. Chicago, Nashville, like those are always fun. You meet interesting people. Show we did at the Wayfair in Orange County was really cool. Yeah, there's some that come back, some that come to mind for sure.
Yeah, the Lighthouse Cafe in Redondo Beach.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That was a fun one for me, just because so much history there. But yeah, my favorite venues now are like, it's a small shop run by a family, and it's, you can maybe fit 30 people in there. But we have two venues that we're playing currently. One called Sand Rocks in Sandstone, Minnesota, that's run by this family, Rachel and Charlie, and they're so sweet, and the community that they have in there is great. And then the other one is the Snug in Washburn, Wisconsin, and that's another awesome family-owned one. And it's just such good people, and you can tell that all their friends come around, and that's just kind of how their life is, and it's really nice to be a part of that for a night.
Yeah.
So you guys are actually on tour right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So where are you doing the podcast from? Where are you at?
We are at we're in Decorah, Iowa right now. Like I said, we just played there last night. We're at Simon Crop. You know Simon Crop? He's a musician. He's playing a show in Duluth recently, or soon. And soon rather. So if you haven't checked out Simon, whoever's listening, and then yourself included too, John, he's a great musician. So we're staying with his parents here. And yeah, they're nice enough to open their house up to us for a night.
Okay, and let's get to the name, because some people might not know why you came up with this name. So why the name Between Howls? And then was there any other options before you settled on that one?
Yeah, I mean, originally we were called Howls Crossing, and that has a little Duluth history tie-in that I honestly probably shouldn't get into, because it takes a minimum of 5 minutes to tell this story, and there's not much of a punchline to it. It's a Wikipedia hole. I'll just leave it at that. So we're like Howls Crossing, and the thing with us is, so my guess bachelor, not maiden, whatever the guy equivalent of maiden, maybe it is made in, I don't know.
Surname?
My surname, thank you, was Muska, and Ren's was Cooper before we got married. And it was around the same time that we started doing the duo that we got married. So we were kind of like trying to come up with a band name. And at the same time, we were kind of talking about maybe it'd be kind of fun if we just changed our last name too. So the two kind of ended up getting morphed into each other. And when we were talking about Howls Crossing, we were like, well, Howl, that could be kind of a cool last name. So then we changed our name to Howl when we got married. And then we did Between Howls. And I mean, we threw a whole bunch out. I mean, seriously, I took screenshots of our text message conversation, because we were out doing different things that day, and we went really back and forth on a whole bunch of things, but then we decided we liked Between Howls.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
Yeah.
So obviously, like I just mentioned, you're on tour now. So what's going on in this year of 2026? You got any big shows coming up? Or are you just doing a lot of little shows around the United States? Or are you staying up in the north area? What are you doing?
I mean, Nick does our booking, so I'm looking at him for this one because I think he knows more of what's going on there.
I don't want to dominate the.
Yeah.
I can.
No, it's all.
You probably already pieced this together, John. But if I get rolling, I just don't shut up. So, yeah. So it's a 25 show tour this spring. We love hitting the road in the spring. It's a fun time. Although there is a blizzard coming in here in Iowa, and we're trying to kind of figure out how we're gonna get to the next spot here in time, and such as the thing of touring in the spring. But yeah, as far as we're kind of just, honestly, it is a lot of little shows, but we like it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sometimes you can hit the road and you're opening for people, and then other times you're doing more headlining, and what we're doing. And this project's only a couple years old, so we're still playing a lot of 50 to 100 capacity rooms. And I'm trying to think about where we're going next. We got a couple shows in Wisconsin. We'll be coming back down to Iowa. We're doing a house show. We've been doing more of those house shows. Those are really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Then going on to Chicago and Nashville thing, and then we're going on to Montana. Yeah, so it's all a lot of little clubs. So if you want to come see a folk Americana duo and you don't want to be crammed into a big club and you got to pay a whole bunch of money to get in, and then this tour is for you.
And everybody that's looking you guys up and trying to keep track of your schedule, they can just go to your website, which is actually across the bottom of my screen right now. So they can check it out during the whole podcast. They can just go to your website and make sure they can keep track of everything that's going on with you guys, right?
That's right.
Okay. All right. So you guys ready for these random 20 questions?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So my listeners, we're going to do it a little different today because obviously we got a married couple and married couples share things. So we're not going to do 20 separate questions. We're going to do 10 each. Some are going to be the same question, but that way we'll give you guys each 10 questions. So obviously we're going to start with Ren because we're going to start with the woman first. So question number 1, tell me about your background and your upbringing a little bit.
My background, I'm from Duluth, Minnesota. My family is not from there, but they're kind of based out of there. So that's where I kind of started out. I started playing violin through Lowell Elementary back when it was a music magnet in 3rd grade. I think I was 8. And I just kept playing violin ever since then. Moved to Superior, Wisconsin for middle school and high school, and graduated from Superior High School, where I met your son, Marcus. And just kind of bounced between the two cities, kept playing music the whole time, ended up graduating from College of St. Scholastica. But before that, I was at UW Superior, where I met Nick when we were in the jazz band. That's kind of how we first started becoming friends and kind of playing together. And and then we started a band, rock band, One Less Guest, moved out to California, and then we moved back and started this thing. So that's kind of like a brief. Yeah.
And Nick, same question for you. Question 1, tell me about your background and your upbringing a little bit.
Yeah, I was born in Park Falls, Wisconsin. And actually, I found out I was supposed to be born in Minocqua, but that's a whole other story. My mom just told me that this week. But I was born in little Park Falls, Wisconsin, and then moved around a little bit. My dad was in the military, so we ended up moving out to Fort Lewis, which is an Army base in Seattle. We lived out there for a little while. Then my mom and my dad got divorced. We moved to a few different little places like Frederick, Wisconsin. We lived in Stillwater, Minnesota for 2 blinks of an eye. And then my mom ended up meeting my adopted dad, and we moved to Shell Lake, which is that's where I say I'm from, because I spent a lot of my life in Shell Lake, Wisconsin. Going to the art center camp there. And it's kind of like what I was saying earlier about these little towns that have a good art scene. I just think there's something really special there. And I was fortunate to grow up where I did. And then when I graduated from Shell Lake High School, I ended up moving up to Superior. And then that's when Ren and I's stories kind of tie together, so you can literally just copy and paste. the second half of what Ren said, that's pretty much my story after that. So.
Okay. All right, Ren. Question 2. What advice would you give a kid that wants to become a musician?
Yeah, I would say just have fun with it. I mean, being a musician it's a very personal and unique experience for everyone who does it. And if you're trying to be a sort of specific thing or there's something you want to emulate, it's like that's good, but just keep having fun with it no matter what. Don't box yourself in or feel too pressured to hit certain marks or expectations or anything. It's better when you can just be yourself and be free with it and have a good time.
Nice. All right, Nick. Question 2. What type of activity do you do that's therapeutic for you?
Oh, that's a good question, John. Besides music, I'm assuming, right? It's besides music.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of changes seasonally. So, like, we just got out of winter, so I'll go ice fishing. I like ice fishing, whether I be with my friends or just sitting out on the lake by myself. And spring's a little crazy, but if I can like tap some maple trees with my mom, I just like being outside, honestly. And then once summer rolls around, it's like I'm scouting for bow season, and then if I can, and then in the fall it's bow hunting for sure, and like deer hunting in general. I just like being outside and doing outdoor stuff. So it's not even really like if I ever couldn't, like I know a couple of guys who can't. Well, now you can hunt with the crossbow, but it becomes harder physically to do those things. Like I don't do them because they're those things. I just like being in the woods. So if I ever couldn't do that, I would just do some other thing in nature. Otherwise, I like reading. I've always been a reader, and yeah, and then it's funny how you can't. It's writing and music and stuff is very therapeutic for me. So there's it is funny when your hobby becomes your job because you got to kind of but yeah, I still get a lot out of music doing that. So
Okay. All right, Ren. Question 3. If you were a roller derby star, what would your name be?
Shoot.
this is good.
Oh man. Honestly, I haven't watched enough roller derby and I'm not particularly good at naming things, so this is a good one for me. I don't know, Rumblin' Ren. Yeah, I have not named anything historically
like
in our partnership,
Rumblin'
so
Ren.
there you go.
Sounds like you just got a new nickname. Nick likes that one.
I guess.
All right, Nick. Question 3. If you were a gunslinger from the Wild West, what would your outlaw name be?
Oh, I'd probably be like Two Toes Willie, and I would have some kind of a story about how like I lost all my toes fighting a grizzly bear with my feet or something, so that nobody would mess with me, like, or just in every different town, I would come up with a different story about why I only had 2 toes.
Would you actually have 2 toes?
No, probably not. I mean, hopefully not.
Never take
But I would never
off.
take my shoes off, so nobody would ever know.
It sounds like Nick
And
has
then
actually thought about this before.
Yeah. But I love it. That's great.
Staying alive in the Wild West, you got to make the little stories about you. I don't know.
No, you're right. You're right.
All right, Ren. Question 4. What is your proudest moment of your career so far?
Man, you're asking the tough
I
questions.
want to know the answer to that question too.
Shoot,
Actually,
I would probably say with our rock band, obviously this group is still only a couple years old, so we're still kind of building moments as we go. But of my whole like musical career, my proudest moment was probably we did a returning show Or no, it was our farewell show when we left for California with one less guest. There was just this moment at the end of the show where we all took a bow and like all of our friends and family were there and they were like released. I'm like tearing up thinking about it. They were like being really just so supportive of like what we wanted to do and things that we were trying, and it just felt like I was like right where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was
All right, Nick, question 4.
There.
What is your proudest moment of your career?
he was there. Yeah.
That was a cool moment.
Yeah.
So is that your answer for the same question, Nick, or do you got a different answer for your proudest moment of your career?
I mean, that one's definitely up there for me. I remember the day before that show because we literally left like a week later, and I saw my mom and my brother for like the last time before I moved, and I just remember telling them, like, I looked my mom in the eyes, I'm like, I am so scared. Like, I was like scared.
Yeah.
Like, what was gonna happen? You know, not really about the show, but just about this next chapter, and it felt like I was kind of planting my flag a little bit. That definitely would be up there for me for sure.
We've had some other ones though.
I think
or you've done some. Yeah, sorry.
No,
I'm
it's all good. I get really proud when we put out new music. Like for me, some of those really proud moments are like, you know, when I actually have when a record is done and out. But I guess that's a little bit more amorphous. Yeah, the farewell show, that was pretty cool.
That was like a moment for me. But yeah, like putting out our records or going on tour in the first place, it just, you know, kind of every new landmark, it feels like you have something special. Like a moment in time there.
Okay. All right, Ren, question 5. If you had the ability to cure one disease, what disease would you choose to cure?
I mean, whichever disease impacts the most people. I think cancer would be one, just because I've had enough people go through it now that you see that like fighting, that long-term fighting that people have to go through. It's really rough. So, yeah, that would probably be it.
Okay. All right, Nick, question 5. Who's the one musician, alive or dead, that you'd want to sit down and have a conversation with if you could?
Oh my goodness. This is a great question. Alive or dead, huh? Honestly, probably Willie Nelson. I think Willie would be a guy that, yeah, I think it'd probably be Willie. Like, I want to say Bob, but I know Bob Dylan, but I know he would be all cryptic and like not actually answer any of my questions probably truthfully. Otherwise, John Prine would be pretty cool. Chris Christopherson, Townes Van Zandt would have a million good stories. You just know he would. But it'd probably be Willie because I just feel like he's got. I would walk away with that from that with some wisdom. Probably change my perspective would be changed on some things.
Yeah, you might walk away with a contact high too.
Yeah, maybe. Although I hear he doesn't smoke anymore. Actually, he had to quit. But yes, that's true. Depending on what time of life, if it's yes.
All right, Ren, question 6. Can you tell me an interesting story out of your career?
Interesting story. I hate to be like, there have been so many. I don't know how interesting this one is, but it's popping into my mind right now. Just on one of our tours with one less guest, we had this run where we were driving through California and our AC went out, and I just think about that moment a lot, where it was like 3 guys and me just sitting in a van for like 3 hours in like 110-degree
Oh, it's
heat.
so hot. I know.
And we're all like, it was silent the whole time because none of us, we couldn't speak because we knew if we started talking, we'd just like be pissed off.
Yep.
And like, yeah, it's not really interesting, but to me, that was just like such a fun moment of being like, this sucks so much.
Yeah.
We can't even say anything about it. And then we were driving to Tacoma.
Yeah, we drove through like Seattle, and there's people don't know that there's a desert.
Yeah.
Like, Eastern Washington is like, a lot of it's kind of a desert / very arid.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot. So yes.
So yeah, we got into town. We got to the hotel that we were staying at. We brought the van in, and then when we were in the hotel and everyone had like taken a shower, then we talked about it because we just in the moment we couldn't do anything, and it was very like surrender. You just have to like surrender to the moment, and I don't know. I think there's a lot of that in a musician's life of like, you just kind of have to
roll with
go with it, whatever is
So true.
happening. So
No, I mean, honestly, that's a great story because that tells the listeners that just because you're a musician and you get to play in front of all these people, it's not always the great and the good things that the fans get to see. Sometimes there's moments like that where you have to go
Yep.
through rough moments to get to the top.
yeah, and those are the things that you remember of just like why we had a whole tour of like really cool things going on for some reason. That's the moment that always comes into my head.
Yeah, that was a funny one. What about when that?
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
All right, Nick, go ahead. Question 6 for you. Same thing. Can you tell me an interesting story out of your career?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, what you got?
What about when that our rehearsal space got
Dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is one of those wacky things that you're just like in the right / wrong place at the right / wrong time. Like,
I might have repressed that.
Yeah. Okay, this one so we had a rehearsal space for a while. I will not name the name of the business because I don't know if it's still around or not, but it was I believe it was in Torrance, California, and we had a rehearsal. They're called lockouts. You can rent them. You can either rent them by the month, almost like you would an apartment, or you can rent them by the hour, and like multiple bands will use the same rehearsal space over the course of a day or a night. And we were in one of the hourly spaces. We had just set up and had been starting to rehearse for about an hour when this little lady, she was like she was 5 foot if she was nothing, you know? I mean, she was just real short. She come running in, and we don't know her, you know? She's got like a Gucci bag, and like she's all dimed out and everything, and like got nice clothes on and stuff, and she just kind of comes in and like slides up against the wall, and she's just kind of like, keep playing, and we're just like, oh, okay, sweet. So we're in the middle of a song, right? And it was a long song, and then we got to the end of it, and we stopped playing, and we were like, who are you? And she's like, oh, don't worry about me. I am in the lockout across the hall. I just need to stay here for a minute. Is that okay? And we're just like, sure, yeah. I mean, if you need to, sure, go ahead. And then so we just kept rehearsing like as normal for like, another couple hours with her in the room. Well, at some point during the rehearsal, we saw a guy with like a helmet come running past, and then another guy with the helmet, and then a guy stops outside of we can see it through the door. There's like the glass in the door, and you can see through it, and I could see it on the back of his vest. It said SWAT on the back of it. And our rehearsal studio, or the space it was getting raided by a SWAT team. And I guess what had happened was the people that were across the hall had rented out, they had one of the longer term leases, and they had like a gambling ring in there. And she was working in the gambling ring. And so she slipped out as the SWAT guys were coming in, and she slipped into our rehearsal space. And so the whole rehearsal, we're just seeing all this commotion and guys getting pulled out and in, and SWAT guys coming in and out. And this lady's just sitting there with her Gucci bag like this in the corner of our rehearsal studio, hoping nobody's going to come in and check in on us. And nobody did. And then finally at the end of the rehearsal, we're just like thinking about how we can get her out of there. We're like, do you want to like pretend you're in the band and like you can like carry a guitar case or something?
We'll give you a jacket.
And yeah, we'll like, you know, and she very obviously there was differences in
there's a language barrier.
There was a language barrier and stuff, and so it's like she very obviously was not like in the band, but so we thought that was a dubious proposition that we could probably do that.
Yeah.
So she was, you know, she agreed too. She was like, no, and then she's like, just shut the lights off and close the door and walk out, because we were the last people to use the space for the night. So that's what we did. We just left her in there in the corner on the stool, and as we're walking outside with our gear, we see all these probably 15 guys lined up on the curb in cuffs with the SWAT team all around them. I never knew what happened to that lady. I've thought about her from time to time, like what happened, but I don't know. But I hope she's living her best life.
Hope she got out.
I hope she got out.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's a great story.
I laugh about that one. Oh man.
Oh, okay, Ren, question 7. If you could have a conversation with any animal and it could talk back, what animal would you want to talk to?
I think I want to talk to like a bird of prey, like an eagle or like a turkey vulture, because I always been envious of like that mile high view. I'd want to know, or just like what that feels like. Yeah, probably.
So like a predator bird then?
Yeah, like a predator bird.
Oh, okay.
Or like, yeah, how do you think about being a predator bird? Yeah.
All right, Nick, question 7. If you were stranded on a deserted island and only had 3 items that you could choose, what 3 items would you choose?
Okay, assuming there's no cell service, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Yes. This is a good question. Okay, I legit would bring this. This is the number one item I would bring for sure. This Leatherman Wingman. I am not sponsored by Leatherman. I just swear to God, I have fixed so many things in my life with this little Wingman, and these things are like indestructible, and they got a million different tools on them. I literally always have it on me. So that's thing number one for sure. I mean, I feel like you gotta have, like a fire starter would be. That's kind of a generic one, but I mean that'd be true. I would want one of those. And then probably like something like a longer book that like wouldn't make me go like crazy or would give me perspective on like the solitude, like maybe like The Alchemist or like Walden Pond, or probably Walden Pond. Honestly, I really like that book.
I can't believe you didn't say guitar.
Yeah, I know.
You could probably make one.
I don't know. I guess I would probably want to bring a guitar. I'm just trying to think about how I would survive. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, that's a good point, John. I should probably amend it to my Leatherman. That is, honestly though, that is tough between the book and the guitar. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like it would be nice to have something to read. Because if I can't make music for anybody, I mean, if I'm alone on the island, then I don't know. This has got me thinking about some stuff. That's a good question.
Okay. Ren, question 8. Are you artistic in any way with your hands as far as building things, painting, drawing, photography, mechanics, anything like that, besides the music stuff?
Yep, I do art things. I do most of the merch for our band, so that it kind of worked out pretty well. I do screen printing, so I screen print all of our shirts. But then I'll do like screen printing projects for myself or other people too. Sometimes I'm working on a like knockoff band merch with like bands that don't have merch, but I really like that band, so I'm just gonna make a t-shirt for them for me. But yeah, I'll paint. I've been making a lot of bracelets recently, and I get crafty like that. Pretty much anything I can, you know, if I have something that like could be thrown away but could also be like used for an art project, I keep a lot of things like that. Like another project is like Nick had this old like desk globe, and I took it and I'm like hot gluing mirror disco ball pieces on it. So it'll be like a globe disco ball. So I just have a lot of little art projects like that going.
Okay. All right, Nick, question 8. Do you have any phobias?
Yeah, I think I have what's called trypophobia. It's a fear of like little small holes that are all connected. I don't exactly know how to like describe it, but those like make me really, really uncomfortable. Like oh god, what's like a good example of like if you were to like be in a cave and there was like a rock where little water droplets had fallen and you couldn't see and the holes were all really close together. Not necessarily like a bee's. It's funny because actually like honeycombs don't bother me, which is a typical one. So that's why I say I go back and forth on it. But if it's like a lot of little holes, maybe somebody else has this. You can just look it up. It's trypophobia. I definitely think I have this because those freak me out. Like they make me very, very uncomfortable.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Heights.
Oh gosh, yes, thank you. I mean, is that a phobia? I'm like definitely afraid of heights. I still hate flying. I literally turn into like a 6-year-old when I fly. I mean, Ren has to like hold my hand, and like I really do not like flying. And I've flown a lot in my life. Actually, I've never gotten over it. Everybody tells me I'm going to get over it, and I just never really quite have. Or yeah, like I don't like that any like heights related movies, like that one where probably the scariest movie I've ever watched was it's this movie where these two girls are stuck up on a platform at the top of this little needle tower. It came out like 5 years ago. I only watched it once because it really scared the crap out of me. Do you remember what this movie's called? I think it might have been called Fall even or something, but these two girls climb to the top of this radio tower, and then the ladder falls out from under them, so they're stuck on this tiny little platform trying to get rescued. So yeah, definitely I do not like heights either.
Okay. All right, Ren, question 9. What is a pet peeve that you have?
Sharpies?
Yeah. We gotta help each other out with these because sometimes
No, I know what you mean.
yeah, like certain high pitched noises, yeah, which is rough because we use Sharpies for everything. But like Sharpie on like copy paper, for some reason that scratching like really gets to me, and it doesn't get to other people. It's funny because I feel like a lot of people have like a high pitch sound sensitivity, but it's like different things. Like I know I'm talking about our old band a lot, but we just did so many things with them. Our bassist from the band One Less Guest, Nick Glass, he played bass and he used his bow, but for some reason rosining a bow, it makes kind of like this high pitched hiss. And he hated it. And I never understood what his deal was with that because I'm like, it's not that big a deal. But then for me, with Sharpies on paper, it just totally wrecks me. I have to like go in the other room. But then, then also I have to sign stuff. So I just kind of have to grin and bear it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's one for me.
All right, Nick, question 9. If you could ask an alien one question, what would you ask them?
Oh, an alien one question. Jeez. I think I would ask them to describe like if they believe in an afterlife, and if so, like what it looks like. Honestly, I mean, I'm just being honest. That's what I would want to know. Like, do you guys?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I thought about language or like music or something, but like, I would really be interested to know like what a different, if that's just like an inevitability of like civilization, that we like have this idea of an afterlife, and if it looks the same for everybody or if it would look different.
Okay. All right, Ren, last question for you. Question 10. What is the craziest or the funniest story that ever happened between you and a fan?
Oh, dude. Okay. This is another one from One Less Guest. We just got into so many deals with that band. So we were playing this private party in Superior, Wisconsin. I believe it was during COVID, so it was like an outdoor thing, but it was a pig roast. And this probably isn't the craziest one, but again, this is just what comes into my head. So we were playing this pig roast, and there was this guy there who was having a great time. You could,
Yeah, he was having a great time.
He was dancing. He was friends again with our bassist in the band. He was laughing it up. He was running around to everyone in the party. He was just having a blast. But as the night went on, he kind of got progressively drunker, and then we were kind of wrapping the night up, and he like got too close and he bumped my mic stand into my face, and there was just this moment where like everybody switched.
Turned.
We were just like everyone turned on him.
You went from being the life of the party to like, dude, get out of here. Don't even remember that guy's name.
No, and I actually chipped my tooth at night. It's not noticeable. It's just like on like the inside of my tooth. But I think about that moment a lot because, So there's a moment. Yeah, pig roast got too rowdy.
The rowdy pig roast. Yes.
All right, Nick. Question 10. Your last question. Who is someone in your life that has inspired you outside of music?
Outside of music. Honestly, my mom, actually. Yeah. My mom is really resilient and didn't choose a music path, even though I think she's a very artistic person, but she's just always inspired me she's probably where I get my like, oh, I can do it from, the like, oh, I can do it thing. Like, even tonight, like we're trying to figure out like, oh, do we want to drive through a snowstorm up to Duluth and drive 4 hours? I'm like, oh, I can do it, because that's just how my mom always was growing up. Like she could kind of do anything, and there's a period where she was a single mom too. And just always, I don't know, just, I really admire my mom, and I feel like I look up to her a lot and still in my adult life. And I think I've learned a lot from just watching her, even when she doesn't nail stuff, she does it with a certain amount of grace and humor that I really like. So.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you guys taking time to come on the show in the middle of your tour. I hope you guys enjoyed the 20 random questions. And if you got anything to say to your fans or want to talk about any of the shows coming up, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, John. I'm gonna think about why I didn't say guitar for the Deserted Island thing. I think maybe it's because I think I'm gonna make it out of there or something. I don't know, but I really don't know why I didn't say guitar. But that's neither here nor there. I guess this was really fun. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to check out our tour route, like you said, go online. We're betweenhowls.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We post our shows there, and we don't have any new music coming out this spring, but we did release our album Cabin Fever last spring, which we recorded at our cabin, and it's we're really proud of it. And you talking about what we're most proud of, I am very proud of that record. It was a lot of time. We didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of know-how, but we had a lot of time, and I actually think it turned out better than any of our other records. To be honest, I'm very proud of it. So check that out. And if anybody's listening in Duluth, we're playing with Soctopus at Bent Paddle for the Festiversary pre-party. That's going to be Friday, May 8th That's going to be the penultimate date on the tour. Should be very fun. So we hope y'all, Duluthians and Superiorites, come out to that. And yeah, I can't really think of. You got anything else you want to add, Ren?
Thanks to everyone who have come out to the shows for this tour, and just in general to all of our shows. I mean, obviously that makes everything better when you have really good friends and people coming out to see you. So just just to say to that, anyone who hears it, thanks for supporting us and what we do, because it wouldn't be the same without you. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on. And with that, the truth has spoken.